Last week, we discussed a topic that tugs on our heartstrings: child abuse. We got reactions from our viewers and requests to delve further. In the light of the requests, we are looking at different types of child abuse. Some we engage in without knowing they actually constitute an abuse. Welcome, beautiful people, to this week's live talk. I am your regular host, Nkoh. Child abuse is a serious challenge with devastating consequences on the child. Often, many associate child abuse only with beating, flogging, or other light, medium, or harsher punishments that result in physical injury, such as bruises, wounds, burns, fractures, or sore muscles. Those who engage in physical abuse often claim to love the child and would even quote scriptures to justify their actions. To them, it was not deliberate, it was done out of care, without knowing the damage done to the child. Sometimes such damages last forever. Some children become so traumatized that many years later, even as adults, they still would not want anything to do with their parents or whoever inflicted such torture. Physical abuse is not an injury sustained as a result of play or an accident, but a result of an adult hitting, shaking, choking, smothering, throwing, slamming, or burning a child. We have heard stories of children who were accused of being witches and burnt. Physical abuse could be biting. Yes, some parents bite their children. It could be in form of poisoning or physically restraining or chaining a child or children. Remember, those kids are still developing. Their brains cannot handle such torture. At the other end of the story is sexual abuse. We sometimes think only men abuse their daughters. Women also could abuse their sons. Sexual abuse is not limited only to the parents and adults. It could be a teenager doing it to a child or a child to another child. Sexual abuse could also include penetration or rape or oral sex. It could be non-penetrative, like touching without the clothes on or even with some clothes. Rubbing, kissing, or masturbating in front of a child. Asking a child to watch a sexual act is not sex education. It's pure abuse. There is time for everything. When a child is of certain age, sex education could be appropriate to be able to navigate the journey ahead. What about showing a child sexual images, videos, or toys, or telling dirty jokes or stories? A child can be forced to undress when there is no reason for it. The list is endless. Some children may not be subjected to any of the above two types mentioned, but rather suffer mental anguish because of unkind treatment they received. Emotional or psychological abuse of a child is not physically feasible, as in physical abuse. Name calling, excessive teasing or bullying, yelling, the silent treatment, ignoring a child, sending a child to his room for extended period, all these are abuse. Refusing to talk to a child, shunning a child, denying a child food. These are all forms of psychological abuse. So also is a case where parents quarrel and fight in front of their children, making humiliating remarks, withdrawing affection or kindness, or making a child the target of ugly jokes or embarrassing jokes. This can be termed emotional abuse. Evidence shows such children might develop low self-esteem or feeling of worthlessness. Other effects of emotional abuse are depression, desperate seeking of approval or validation, social withdrawal, and delayed or inappropriate emotional development. The list goes on. Some neglect their responsibilities to the child. How? They are denied foods. They live in dirty environment. No proper or adequate health care. Poorly clothes. Poor personal hygiene. Poor supervision. These are all forms of abuse. All these have consequences on the life journey of a child. Children are precious. They are innocent and trusting. Children should be protected and loved, not abused. Thanks for watching. What are your own views and experiences? Feel free to share with us in the comment section, please. Remember to subscribe if you have not done so and activate the notification bell so you will not miss any of our videos. Until next week, this is Nkoh wishing you the best through life. Cheers and stay blessed. Bye-bye.